Today we're talking everything Wild Turkey, and no, not just the new 8-year release that was just released on the market, but we're also talking about the traditional old Wild Turkey 101, everybody's favorite budget bottle coming in around 20-25 bucks. And then of course we also have to slide in the 70th anniversary Wild Turkey 101. Now, I think everybody knows what Wild Turkey 101 is. You can find it at almost any liquor store, pretty much anywhere near you, for around 20 to 25 bucks. It has been a solid staple of my bar for a long time. It's one of the first ones that we drank when we started getting into the whiskey and bourbon game. Wild Turkey 101 is a solid bourbon, but there's been talks that it's been kind of going downhill as they release like the 70th and the 8-year and things like that. I think it's time we put it up to the test and see like which one of these actually comes out number one in a blind. Now, of course, we're going to be talking about the new 8-year that was just released. Now, this has to be a minimum of 8-year. It doesn't mean it's not going to be blended with some 10, 11, or 12-year whiskey in it. But for this review and for all of this, this is a 8-year blend. And then, of course, you have the Wild Turkey 70th anniversary, which is basically celebrating Jimmy Russell's 70th year as a master distiller, which also marks him the longest head distiller, which I think is pretty cool. Now, a lot of people have a wide range of opinions when it comes to these bottles because the price ranges on these kind of range pretty far. Everywhere from 20 bucks all the way up to 70 bucks in some cases for the 70th anniversary. Now, that Wild Turkey 8-year is ranging anywhere from like 50-ish, like give or take $5. This Wild Turkey is supposed to be around the same price, but I think people marked it up just a little bit because it is a limited edition. Now, everybody keeps saying that the 8-year is also better. I beg to differ, and I think we need to put my own palate to the test too. Sometimes I need to check myself because I did crack these open, not the 101. I did crack the other two open on a recent live stream when we first got the 8-year, and I was like, I don't know. I think the 70th is a little bit better in my opinion from that night, but I want to blind them, give a non-biased review of which one of these actually are worth it, which one is worth your money. Because if Old Faithful comes up on top for 20, 25 bucks, you best believe that's still the go-to. But I think if the 8-year or the 70th, we have an argument being made of like which one should we really pick up. So without further ado, I'm going to get these blinded by the wife, and then of course I'm going to sip them, give you my thoughts, maybe a couple tasting notes, and really at the end of the day, figure out which one of these should you be buying. All right, now in case she didn't explain, she did label these 1, 2, and 3, and just to make it easier in the edit, I'm gonna put it up at top so you can know which one I'm drinking when I'm talking about it. I won't know, obviously, as of now, but you get my drift. So, we're gonna go down the line, 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll switch it up. You never know. Keep the bourbon on its toes. It's going for the nose. Man, it's just, I have a feeling like I'll have the hardest time with this one because it's all Wild Turkey 101. Proof's the same, everything's the same except for the age and kind of which rick house it was picked from. But overall, you get like sweetness, brown sugar, caramel, vanilla, like some basic bourbon notes with that traditional Wild Turkey smell. Number 2 is a lot lighter, a lot more fruitier on the nose than number 1. Number 1 was kind of like that, like dark, rich caramel brown sugar vibes, where number 2 is a lot lighter, a lot more fruitier on the nose. Number 3 is kind of in between them both, really. It still had some rich caramel notes, but it's more fruit forward than anything. I mean, a little bit of honey on there too, actually. They are extremely similar. The one outlier here, as far as which one would be different for the nose, is going to be number 1. Number 1, again, richer, caramel, brown sugar, still has some sweetness level, still has some oaky level, but for the most part, this one's got the most richness. Now, if I had to pick a preference here for me, it's got to be number 2. It's the most fruit forward, red fruit, strawberry vibes with some honey, a little touch of oak. But I don't, like me, I may have a different palate than most people, but I'm going with 2 for the nose. So let's go ahead and dive in to the palate, get a little taste test on. I mean, it's like one of those blinds, where every sip's going to be really good. Number 2 obviously had that same kind of nose translate really well to the palate. It's rich. It's got a decent level of viscosity compared to what I remember for Wild Turkey. Again, I'm going to say this one kind of sticks more traditional bourbon notes with the Wild Turkey flair, right? Caramel, brown sugar, vanilla, oak, maybe a touch of honey, but I don't get a lot of fruit on that one for whatever reason. Let's go into number 2. Yeah, bro. Oh, I can't wait to find out which one's which. Number 2 is a lot more fruit forward. Kind of the same thing with the nose, right? It had a lot of red fruits on it. I will say the palate has a lot more oak than what the nose was leading on. It's still got that traditional vanilla caramel vibes. But instead of rich brown sugar, it's got bright red fruit, a little plum action maybe. Possibly even like a strawberry. I'm thinking strawberries. I don't know why. Let's go into number 3, and we'll go ahead and give this one a taste. What I need is a little water to cleanse the palate real quick. This episode's not sponsored by Fever Tree, but if they want to hit me up, hey, hit me up. All right, we're going back in for one more sip on number 3. Just based off taste, palate-wise, number 1 and number 3 are very close. They feel like they could be the same bottle. Number 3, I'd say it's a little bit lighter of everything. Not much, but if you would have said all these notes were at a 9, right, max level, number 3 would be an 8. Not scale point wise, but level of volume on the notes. I say number 3, if I had to really nail it down, it's going to be the traditional bourbon notes, the vanilla, caramel. I'm going to say this one does have some brown sugar, just not as much as number 1. And I'm going to say it has a very small smidgen of a red fruit. Just a little taste, a little sprinkle over top, if you will. But I honestly, the winner is super clear to me. Because I look at it a few ways. 1, which one's the most unique and which one stands out? Because in a world of Wild Turkey, if everything's similar, which one stands out to me? Number 2 is the clear standout. Number 1 and number 3 are similar, which also means one of them's expensive, one of them's cheap, and that's kind of hey. Or they could be the 70th and the 8 year and they're identical, which would be even crazier. The winner is going to be number 2. I think just overall uniqueness. I love the fruit forward of the number 2 pour. It's a little bit lighter, which typically I think in hindsight probably wouldn't be my first go-to. I'd want something that it doesn't feel super age statement, but it gives me what I want if it was, age stated with the more uniqueness of tasting notes. Yeah, for uniqueness alone, that's what I'm going with. It's good. It's traditional Wild Turkey. I'm here for it. Let's have the wife shoot me a text with the answers, and we can figure out what we're drinking. What's funny is the whole time I'm drinking this, you guys know what I'm drinking. So you already know the winner. I just don't know the winner. So one thing that's weird about blinds, normally I do my blinds live on Fridays and we crack open bottles and we do blinds and stuff. The wife comes in, it's all kind of one motion. Doing it in a separate video is a little bit different. I don't even know how to do these properly, I'd say. But she just texted me the results. Oh my God. Damn. Hey, Wild Turkey's been scamming us. Wild Turkey's been getting after us, boys. So number one that I said I felt had the most richness. I'm shocked. I can't even get the answers out. Number one had the most richness in dark caramel, brown sugar vibes. I'm like, hey, that one's got the age feeling vibes. Number one is the 70th anniversary. Crazy. Okay. Number one is the 70th anniversary. Number three, again, I said number one and number three are very similar. Which now that I'm saying it out loud probably makes sense because number one and number three are both 8 years because number three is the new 8-year bourbon. Which is honestly what I would have picked second out of this lineup because it had the smidgen of the red fruit comparatively. And I would have went with that because I didn't get any red fruit on number one, which is not what I got when I drank it live, which is crazy. So number two, the one I picked that was the most unique and the winner was the Wild Turkey 101, the cheapest one of them all. Who would have thought? Bro, it was good. I will say it was the lightest. It was kind of like, I really liked it because it was the most tasty notes I could pick out. And I was like, hey, like I mess with this. The other two felt thicker, felt more age stated. But that's not what, I wasn't going based off which one I felt was the most age stated. I went with which one was the most unique. And to be honest, that's bizarre that number two won it. I'm kind of shocked. Wild Turkey 101 for the win over the big boys. So number one takes the pedestal. Number two is going to be the new 8-year, which I mean at this point, shoot, bro. I guess you got to pick up the 8-year if you have the 70th because that just beat that. I've heard a lot of people say they came into the live stream when I did it saying number 8 has more fruit than 70th. But when I tried it live, the 8-year it was all caramel vibes. I didn't get any red fruit on it. I got a little smidgen this time, but it wasn't nothing compared to number two. Number two had the most red fruit. So there you have it. That's the review. You guys do with that what you will. Again, I don't think there's a bad pick on this list. You can pick up any one of them. If you're a huge Wild Turkey fan, feel free to pick them all up. They're not a waste of money. These aren't $200 plus bottle. These are $25. Where is it? $25 all the way to, max of 70. So, and that might even be a little bit extra. 8 years going for 50. I think they're all worth a pickup to have on the shelf. But I do think this kind of stamps its mark in the bourbon world. For the Wild Turkey 101 needs to be on everybody's shelf. But let me know what your thoughts are on all three of these. And more importantly, do you keep this bad boy stocked on the shelf? And if not, are you gonna now? So, again, if you like videos like this, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you on the other side. Peace.